Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about climate. There's a story circulating in Australia today that tens of thousands of Aussies are engaged in Agenda 21 conspiracy theory. Tens of thousands of Aussies are lapping up a ridiculous conspiracy theory that climate change is a United Nations-led hoax to aggressively depopulate the world. Social media platforms are being used to push the theory, known as Agenda 21, and in the past 4 weeks alone, hundreds of Australians have engaged in posts about it. The bulk of Agenda 21 conversations are on mainstream platforms Twitter and Facebook, where tens of thousands of Aussies have liked and followed Australian-based pages dedicated to the conspiracy. You have to wonder where these conspiracy theorists get their crazy ideas from. Here's an article from Bloomberg from last month. Earth needs fewer people to beat the climate crisis, scientists say. Bloomberg, November 5, 2019. 40 years ago, scientists from 50 nations converged on Geneva to discuss what was then called the CO2 climate problem. They predicted global warming would eventually become a major environmental challenge. Now, 4 decades later, a larger group of scientists is sounding another much more urgent alarm. They say there needs to be far fewer humans on the planet. We declare, with more than 11,000 scientist signatories from around the world, clearly and unequivocally that planet Earth is facing a climate emergency. These scientists wrote in a stark warning published Tuesday in the journal Bioscience. And 50 years ago, at a meeting of the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, there was a discussion of poisoning the water supply of third world countries. New York Times, November 25, 1969. A sterility drug in food is hinted. Biologist stresses need to curb population growth. San Francisco, November 24th. A possibility that the government might have to put sterility drugs in reservoirs and in food shipped to foreign countries to limit human multiplication was envisioned today by a leading crusader on the population problem. The crusader, Dr. Paul Ehrlich of Stanford University, among a number of commentators who called attention to the population crisis as the United States Commission for UNESCO opened its 13th national conference here today. You really have to wonder where these ridiculous conspiracy theorists get their ideas from. Socialists have a long history of committing unspeakable atrocities on the human race. I'm not going to post any of his pictures here because it would give YouTube an excuse to ban me. But if you really want to understand what socialism is all about, search for Danzig Baldayev's drawings from the Gulag. He was a prison guard who secretly drew pictures of what was going on in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. I married a Soviet refugee, and she's absolutely horrified at the direction the Western world is headed. There's a well-known saying that people vote their way into socialism and then have to shoot their way out. Remember, whatever you do, don't be a conspiracy theorist. Always base your arguments around easily verifiable facts. But do visit Toto on the web at RealClimateScience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.